intro.
I'm simulcasting. Sorry.
Awesome. Yeah, go for it. It's 10 o'clock. Do you care where your dice are? After all, it's a jungle out there. GameMasters here, and we are live tonight. I imagine a good many gamers are either wrapping up or are in the midst of a grand battle for that final hurrah that is the year called 2023. And what a year it has been. I don't want to rehash all the crap that we've been through in the gaming community, but I want to instead look forward to what 2024 is going to bring us. I am joined tonight with two guests, Seraphis, say hi,
Hello.
and Bear. Bear, first question is for you. What game are you most looking forward to in 2024? Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say my own heroic. Right? I gotta be real. I'm looking forward to getting heroic out on the market and seeing how people interact with it and react to it.
I think for me, Mortborg is one that I've gotten into pretty big and heavy here lately. And they've got Pirate Borg is out. They've got Cyborg, which has been out for, I think that was the first, not really an expansion, but the first offshoot of Mortborg. But they've got another one coming out called Ronin. That's one that I just can't quite get too terribly excited about. It's... You're playing in feudal, well, it's not really even feudal Japan. You're playing in a world that is under a eternal eclipse. There are supernatural creatures that have popped up, and your job is to go after them and slay them. And of course, you're a Ronin. I just can't get too terribly excited about that. For the same reasons that I didn't get very excited about Karatur for Forgotten Realms. It's a great setting, but I don't know. It just seemed like they had a specific agenda for that one. Same reason that I really couldn't get too big into Legend of the Five Rings. It was just a self-contained, this is the setting. I like a more dynamic world, if you will. Seraphis, what game are you looking forward to?
I mean, mostly because I didn't get a chance to run it this year. Probably Call of Cthulhu this coming year. So,
That's a good one.
Yep.
The second part to all of this, to this specific stream, what I wanted to ask about. This is a tough one. Deep question for the both of you, and for anybody in the comment section there too. So I stated at the top of this that we weren't going to rehash a lot of the crap that we went through in 2023. What can we as a gaming community do to... Obviously, let me finish the question first. Sorry. I have a tendency to go off on tangents before I can complete my first tangent. Question is, what can we as a gaming community do to help prevent the same things from happening in 2023? Obviously, we have no control over what a multi-billion-dollar company is going to ultimately decide, but we can control our own views and attitudes towards the events that are going on. I know I, for one, don't want to see myself go down that rabbit hole of just pure vitriol, disdain, and hate. I've seen... We've seen recently a Joe Cat YouTuber, Joe Cat, put in his announcement that he's no longer going to be producing content on YouTube. We've got others that are jumping on just to make negative comments And that's not something that I ever want to go down. I don't want to ever find myself falling down that rabbit hole. So the question is for the both of you, what is something that sorry, I'm going to shout that out there. What is something that we as the gaming community can do to help keep us from going down that rabbit hole?
Service, you want to start, or otherwise I have opinions.
I've got opinions.
Shocking of shocks.
And hey, listen, guys, get as spicy, get as shocking as you need to get. I'm not holding anything back.
I mean, as a community, I think one of the big issues that we keep coming up with is that, like, people get too invested in a company rather than just the game, the politics of a company, the shenanigans. Like, as most of us have proven, you don't need to actually be a fan of WotC to play a version, or just grab the core rulebooks and then grab, some third-party made stuff to enjoy 5th edition, 3rd edition, whatever. I feel like it's more about a mindset changing of the community that needs to happen. I don't know.
I would agree with you. I definitely think there needs to be a major shift in the mindset. Bear.
Support independent creators. Stop spending money on corporations that are only monetizing themselves and your dreams and your hopes and your fantasies to be basically something that they can make a profit, a dividend off, and give their shareholders money. Give the money you would spend on D&D to an independent company and a creator, making their year better, allowing them to maybe even give up their bullshit 9-to-5 job for the first time in their life and live the goddamn dream they've been wanting to live, which is producing awesome content for you. Worst comes to worst, if you don't want to do that, which seems to be really hard for a lot of people to do for some reason, they'll throw money at Disney, but they can't throw it at their buddy Gus. Buy Palladium. Kevin and Sean are absolutely community people. Buy Trollord Games. The trolls are absolutely community people. If you have to deal with a larger company, deal with Free League. Free League are absolutely about their fucking community. What you need to do is stop giving money to these corporate entities that do not give a single fuck about you beyond the dollar signs you can generate for them. Thank you for attending my TED Talk.
I swear that was not pre-scripted. We didn't talk about this pre-hand.
Nope.
I agree 100%. There was another game that's on my radar called Shadow Dark. This one, it's one that I want to... I need to research it just a touch more. It's you can currently get it in PDF format, but it was so successful they had a limited run of hard copy limited run. It's sold out. It's gone right now. They will, I would assume, based on its success, they will bring back that hard copy again. But for now, it's available in PDF format. But it is, from what I've understood, it's very similar to Mortborg. It's a dark and gritty kind of fantasy quasi horror role playing game. Very light. It's just a book. Well, it's a couple of books really. You've got your I guess your Game Master guide. You've got your player guide, and a small handful of dice. That's all you need. But it's a small little pamphlet of a book. The bigger issue that I have, and Barry, you just touched on this, was I don't want to spend more money. I want to spend more time playing games and less time opening my wallet. And that was one of the reasons why I did this big expose, my last video or 2 videos ago about Mortborg. And I highlighted from their website the entire list of all the free shit that you get from Free League for Mortborg. And
Free League is amazing.
Yeah, it's
Really
crazy.
are friends of gamers. They
Mhm.
really believe in the gaming community. They're friends of YouTubers. They give us so much review material. It's insane.
Yes.
And they're the nicest guys to talk to. The only problem is trying to get interviews with them because most of them are in Europe, right? So timing is always an issue.
Right.
But you also have the homegrown. Like I said, Trollord. Trollord is a fantastic company. Palladium.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just got a box of stuff from them that was amazing. Autographs.
Yeah. I know.
You know, like just starve the beast.
Mm-hmm.
Starve Hasbro. Starve Disney. Starve anybody that doesn't respect you as a gamer and want you to play their game because they want you to play their game, not because they want your shekels. You know
Right.
what I mean?
And that's what they're doing. They're playing a game.
You know, when you hear a corporation say we feel the brand isn't monetized enough, demonetize it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Take all your money out of that pool and go screw you. Go back, Kelsey. Go back, anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe me, Victor Gorchev in the chat. He does great stuff. Go back the Scrying Dutchman. Go back him. There are tons of people out there who dream of nothing more than having a cottage industry, as Mr. Boivin loves to say, and that cottage industry is doing what we love, which is producing gaming material. If I didn't have to work at a 9-to-5 day job, I would be 100 times more prolific than I am right now. But I'm not.
Absolutely.
Because I have a job and I got to pay the bills, right? Meanwhile, these chuckleheads over at WotC are, how can we monetize this more? What the people who matter.
It's something that I wish I had unlimited money to go out and back a lot of these Kickstarter projects. And there's half a dozen other websites just like Kickstarter out there, BackerKit, etc. And there's so much good stuff out there. I mean, I'm sitting here, you guys can't see it, but behind my camera here is the map for a huge cloth map. Actually, I'm going to make y'all dizzy for a second.
Is this the Dragonbane one?
This is the Dragonbane, yeah.
I have it. It's beautiful. It's insane.
It's a blanket.
Yeah.
The thing is not, I mean, and it's a cloth map. That's something that I was impressed with when,
This thing is so heavy.
It is.
This thing is so heavy and
It
just
is.
chock full of goodness. And ducks. You can play ducks. You can play ducks.
And
with
that's
swords.
cool.
Ducks with souls?
Ducks with Thord.
Oh, swords.
With
Okay.
Thord.
And here's the sad part, Bear. Mine still has shrink wrap on it.
I had to open mine, dude. I had to do an unboxing on my channel.
I've got so much stuff, so much content from Free League that I'm sad that I have not opened this yet, but I want to give it the just respect that it deserves. Thank you, T and Tori.
Yeah, it's really cool. I ain't get no free membership, but thank you, T and Tori. It's okay, I'll survive.
And I'm wondering if T and Tori is going to show up on this tonight. I mean,
where you at, Tori? We've been waiting for you.
Reunion.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing. I think Free League is just, they're an amazing company, and it's certainly something that I've said that I'm not going to spend any money with WotC. I've got I know Rivers RPG, another YouTuber. He's been very vocal about not spending any money with WotC. Listen, if they continue to send me the review products, I'll continue to review them. I'm going to be looking at them with a very heavy eye, but I'll continue to review those products because, you know what? It's something I recognize that D&D, the name itself, the brand itself, is popular.
Of course
People play
it is.
It's the granddaddy out there. And
in the States, do you guys use the term Scotch tape?
yeah,
Yeah, that's Scotch brand.
Yeah.
Kleenex, right?
Correct.
And all that stuff.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Xerox.
Yep.
You know, in the UK they say Hoover for vacuum. You know, D&D is the brand. It's the 800-pound gorilla. Yeah, I became a member. Why not?
Yeah.
It's the 800-pound gorilla in the room of role playing, and we have to take that as a serious thing. We have to understand that it's there. But you know,
There's so much more out there.
there's so much more. People who like you and want to interact with you and have communities where they're there. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
Tori wants the link. Tori wants the link.
Let's see if I can figure out how to send her that.
By the way, I'd like to make just a quick shout out for you, Game Masters. There's some really fantastic creators hanging out in the chat tonight that I may have shanghaied from my channel over to your channel tonight.
Sweet.
And they should all
shout them all out.
We got Reactionary Principle Gaming, Monsieur Boivin. It's a little spicier than you might be used to, but he does talk about game mechanics and design philosophy a lot. He's really into that stuff. We've got Victor Gorchev, who has Scrying Dutchman, which I mentioned. He does supplements for 5th edition, and he's got a modern supplement for Shadow Dark. So there's that kind of stuff you can take a look at there. And then there's just all the awesome people like Hungar the Starvarian, and, you know, it's a pretty groovy group of people. And part of this really crazy community that we're all part of right now.
We definitely have a real crazy community. It's one that, and that's not in a bad. The term crazy there is not bad either. It's what I mean by crazy is that we've got. I'm talking to 2 other countries right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to me, that's
one
crazy.
A lot closer than the other.
Well,
and still separated by a common language, the 3 of us.
But the point is, throw me 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 25 years ago, this couldn't happen. My community would have been a very small shell.
Yeah.
And this is, when I mean crazy, to me, this is crazy. Being able to sit down and chat about cool stuff, gaming stuff, with people in a completely different country, on a completely, well, me and you, Bear, are on the same continent, but, you know, Seraphis is way out there.
In the land of homily.
Yeah, but that to me that's what's crazy. And I can't say that's just too cool. I mean, that's when you sit back and think about it, to me, that's too cool. And I think that with enough, I don't even want to say like minds, because I know that I have different opinions than both of you guys, than half of the people here in the chat have. It's not, what am I trying to say? It's that we don't have to be, we're not like-minded. We do have our own opinions about different aspects of games, but we can still come together respectfully and talk maturely and have sane conversations without, as Joe Cat experienced, having this bizarre, I don't know, outpouring of what I call armchair critics, you know, living room critics, the keyboard commanders, you know, people that can sit behind a keyboard and anonymously bash other people. You know,
Can I address
go for it.
The Joe Cat thing?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
I had no idea what was going on, and I found out about it today. I was like, okay. So I watched it. I watched Dungeons and Discourses video on it and all that kind of stuff, and I got a little bit of the background of what's going on. First of all, and I went and found the video. It's a few years old on top of it all, so it just recently came into the zeitgeist. But if you notice something, the lion's share of the hate that he received was from one place: Twitter. Or I will continue to say this until that fucking thing is gone. Stop using that cesspool of humanity. It is not good. It's not helping society. It's not helping anyone. If you're making a couple of bucks off it, hey, you do you, but you open yourself up to, you might make a couple of bucks swimming with the sharks, but you're risking getting bit. You know what I mean? I avoid it. I have an account for myself and for my company. I never use them anymore. I want nothing to do with that place anymore. It's just a cesspool. It is the Moss Isley of social media,
Hey, that's rude. Mos Eisley is a much nicer place.
That's fair. It's the Sarlacc pit of social media. It's Jabba's palace gone wrong. And I agree with Timothy Farrell on this one. Joe Cat shouldn't have given in because it only emboldens them. But we don't know Joe Cat's limits of mental health. We don't know his limits of patience, and we don't know what his stress levels were. So if someone caves in, I understand that, because you can get to a point where you're just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't deal with this shit anymore. So
yeah, and that's what I want to. I'm too small. This channel is too small for me to really kind of worry about that. But I know that at some point as a creator, that's going to be an inevitability. It's something that's going to happen. I've had my fair share of rude comments, yes, but I can't say that I would handle it different. I can't say I would handle it better. Can't say I'd handle it worse. I don't know, because I haven't had that happen yet. I hope I don't, but I know that me moving forward, I'm looking at that landscape, and when I make content as a content creator, it's something that is in the back of my mind. I don't want to openly invite, that type of element into my comment system or into any other part of social media. Real quick, I'm going to add to the stage.
It's a Tori.
Hello. Hi. I jumped in at an interesting time.
Twitter got her.
Yeah. Yeah, she's completely froze.
That's okay. She'll be back.
Yeah.
I think we need to do, because Google Groups, Google Groups, whatever it was called, that's now gone, sadly, was the role-playing mecca. Everybody hung out there. And as a result, there was less nonsense going on. I mean, there was a certain level of nonsense, but it was really, really, really good. And I hate that Google canned and killed that because it wasn't making them as much money, because it was the gamers really embraced it. I think we just need to pick a social media, be it Instagram, be it something. I don't care. I don't know what most of them are. There's got to be one out there that's got no love, but it's just struggling on. And we need to just move the entire RPG community in that direction. You know what I mean? And then just leave the Twitterverse to the tweets and leave them happily over there yelling at each other about presidential elections and whatever else.
I'm really kind of surprised that YouTube hasn't tried to get in on that. For me, Discord, here we go.
Yeah, let's bring MySpace back.
Yeah. Timothy Farrelly says, I found a lot of fellow GMs and gamers at Discord. And, that's honestly, that's where I've become more active than on Twitter, because it's something that, I don't know. We do come together and we do have a good chat. And there's always something to talk about there in the Discord. And there's several, obviously anybody can create a Discord. And here we go. I'm going to add Tori back. There we go.
Hi,
Tori's back.
Sorry.
Welcome back.
Yeah. What'd I miss?
Nothing.
Oh, good.
Just
MySpace.
Yeah, we've decided that MySpace is going to become the new location for gamers.
Before we get down,
am I losing them again?
Here's the thing. We lost her again.
Oh no!
Discord, gilded servers. None of these things are going to work because they're servers. They're not public, consumable, open forum concept. We need to find something open forum where we can all just descend on it. You know what I mean? And just suddenly boost it. And let me tell you. You find the one that's hungry enough for some traffic and you bring all that gaming RPG traffic to it, they're going to love us. They're going to be like, I love these guys. Go ahead, Tori, try now.
We'll see. We'll see how long I last. If my internet keeps giving me trouble, then I'll back out. But you guys are still there. Oh my gosh, you're still there. Yay, internet. Yay, internet. All right.
So, Tori, I'll ask you the initial question that I asked these other two. What in 2024? What is going to be the number one game that you are most looking forward to?
Oof. That's a tough and different question for me because I've been playing 5e this whole time. Now, I have not paid for any of the content, and maybe I shouldn't go into much detail about that, but I actually haven't paid for any of it because I really don't feel like giving, namely Hasbro, my money, but even WotC still. I just don't really feel like spending money on that, but I haven't really gone down the rabbit hole of going into other systems. Yeah, I mean, Call of Cthulhu has been, what was it? Cyphery's mentioned that earlier. That one's been kind of on my list for a little bit. But no, I'm probably just going to keep playing 5th edition. I'm just going to keep using the materials that I have that I'm not technically paying for.
Makes sense. And that was a comment that that both Bear and I made too earlier, is I want to spend more time playing, not more money buying the stuff to play.
Yeah.
I am monetized with this YouTube, but at a certain point, it's got to start making me a little bit to pay back all the money that I've spent to get to this point.
2.5K more subscribers, and supposedly that's 10,000 now is the magic number where you start getting sponsorship deals and people want to give you
Okay,
money
so
ad revenue.
So listen, I'm gonna pop this up real quick. See if I can figure out how to do it real fast. In my videos, each video that I do, here we go. I usually pop up something along this line. I want to thank all the, and I try to do it in a very creative way. So this is my creative way here to give a shout out to these channel supporters. These guys have contributed to this channel in ways that are so meaningful to me. And it's made it so that I don't have to take on sponsored ads for this specific video. I have been contacted by a pretty major company. We'll say, I'm not going to flat out name the name of the company, but we'll say that it rhymes with BMU. And I think we can all figure it out. I sent them my proposal my rate sheet, and they came back with a quarter of what I would be happy paying. This is they make over $4 billion a month, and they wanted to pay me $120 for a 10-minute dedicated video to their products.
Yeah,
I said no.
Now, I'm just looking forward to your Raid Shadow Legends. That's what I'm looking forward to. How you convinced me to join.
Yeah, well,
that beard. I want to see you do a manscaping ad.
So funny you should say that. I am actually I have actually made my own beard oil, and it's something that if I can figure out the logistics of shipping, that's the only thing that's stopping me at this point, is figuring out the logistics of shipping, because it's an oil and it's gonna leak, and shipping it across international waters. I don't know. I think they have issues with liquids being shipped like that.
Might be fun. I have trust issues with shipping companies.
Yeah, but I mean, I see shampoo being delivered all over the place, so I don't know why beard oil would be any different. But yeah, Bear, I can promise you there will be a point in which I do a beard based video.
I'm listening.
It's
Well,
just a matter of time.
it's a matter of I have to get in shape first, because with as long as this beard is, I'm kind of naked from this point up, and I got to look my best.
I need an adult immediately. That.
So there you go. Well, I mean, hey, I can't really show how to groom it with a shirt on.
If you say so.
Oh, what kind of debauchery have we delved into now?
Oh dear God, this is so tame. You have no idea. Come hang out in my this community. You'll learn what debauched is.
Yeah, like an hour and a half ago in Bear's stream. That's where you wanted to be.
Give me a 2-minute highlight.
Somehow they thought it would be really fun to talk about cross-gender role-playing, which then leaned into cross-race role-playing, which then leaned into me going, "Stop, please, for the love of God, stop." So yeah,
Well, what's wrong with that?
Beyond game. Well, because as I said to them, one of the things is that I try to maintain with my channel is openness, inclusivity. Not don't use the word safe space, but like
Right.
I have trans followers, I have gay followers, I have religious followers, I have followers of every stripe and thing, and I don't ever want any of them to feel unwelcome because some idiot's got a fucking axe to grind on something.
Yep.
Now, when you get into the cross-gender role-playing issue or the racial, like you're not Chinese, can you play a Chinese character? You're kind of getting close to the edge of a precipice that could plunge you down into hell. You know what I mean? So fortunately, they listen when I tell them to stop, but it's a dangerous, slippery place to be. So I try and avoid it. You talking about not wearing a shirt, please. That's fucking wholesome by comparison, sir.
Well, and kind of what you were just saying too. I mean, that's also my point in moving forward in 2024 is I don't want it to get to a point where I can't, my brain doesn't operate on the level of hate that I see happening. I can't fathom it. And for someone to get that bent up over how somebody else lives their life or what somebody else does, that blows my mind. I don't get that.
But it's kind of not a new thing, is it? Like,
no, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, it's been around for a while. You just kind of gotta. I mean, thankfully, I don't have to deal with it yet because I'm not big enough. But I imagine that there's some degree of just, you kind of picture like how the celebrities are always walking around with like sunglasses on and they're always like deliberately ignoring people. It's almost like the internet version of that sometimes, but it's still sad what happened to him. Like I hate that he feels, because I love his videos. I thought they were fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me. Look, he had to do what he had to do, and I accept that and I understand that. But man, like it kind of sucks. That he had to go through it. And the worst part is, if it was a recent thing, I'd understand. But this video is years old.
I know. I actually posted that in the chat right before I got the link and hopped on. But like, yeah, I had not heard of this. Like, I've been watching Joe Cat for a long time. I had no idea. And how did it pop up? There was like it showed up on my like YouTube recommended page, and I was like, huh, what's this? And I clicked on it, and then someone explains, oh, it's D&D Shorts. That's what it was. And I don't even really watch his channel, but that one popped up, and I watched it. And he did a good call out about it. And so I was like, what's this? So I did a quick YouTube search. And the first like top 5 videos on the list are all people like defending Joe Cat, calling out how terrible a thing it is. So I loved seeing all the support. There were a number of channels that were calling it out like, dude, this is ridiculous. We love Joe Cat. And so I love seeing the support. But then I went and watched the original video and I'm like, what? I don't get what the problem is. I don't understand. Why are we mad?
It's 30 seconds long. Yeah. It's really cute and it's wholesome.
Well, I have used the original song. Like, it's a parody of a song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, they're. Yeah. So, like, it's okay when she does it, but.
Yes.
Paydar and Gaming with ADHD. So, the 5-minute or the real brief version of what's happened here. It's a YouTuber called Joe Cat. Had, I don't know, lots of subscribers. I mean, 2 million, something like that.
Yeah.
I might be exaggerating a touch, but I don't recall exactly. But he was real big on doing animation in his videos, and did a parody song of, oh gosh, who sings it? I
Well,
like
Lizzo's
yeah,
I Like
Lizzo.
Yeah.
4 million. So it's 4 million plus subscribers, and did a parody song of I Like Boys, and the parody song was I Like Girls, and it showcased that Joe Cat liked all kinds of girls. I
Yeah.
mean, a variety of them, and it's there's an old song. Oh gosh.
Can you imagine how their brains would explode if Queen released Fat Bottom Girls today?
No kidding. And that's that. Okay, so that's my point. Is look at the history of songs.
Or Killer
Pick
Queen.
out anything that any major band has done. There's you can pick apart almost any song that they've done. Anyway, sorry, I'm again tangent. I'm bad about doing that. A lot of people jumped on his Twitter and just started giving him unrelenting shit. He wrote a long letter explaining why he was leaving Twitter, why he was leaving YouTube. And that's basically the 5-minute version of it. It's a sad thing because guy had talent.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
His class videos for 5e are hilarious. Good,
Well, and the Monster Hunter ones, one of my favorite things that he did that I actually still pull up and watch to this day is when Monster Hunter World came out and he did the overly edited Monster Hunter World. I just love watching that play. It's super short, but I love watching it because the comedic timing is fantastic. And then the crap guide to Monster Hunter, the weapons, the crap guide to the 5e classes, like there's all kinds of stuff that he did that's really phenomenal.
And the big one was the crap guide to DMing, where he really addressed, he did a great job addressing what we all do through his DMs. And it was a really good one, and it really put everything in perspective. And even after I was done watching it, I was like, I agreed with him when he was angry, but now I can agree with his solution at the end, though I would have happily lived without Matt Mercer on that one, but that's just me. I'm really tired of Matt Mercer as D&D Jesus, but that's me. But the point is that, he did provide something useful. And then to see all of these morons, I mean, just, going after him and accosting him as sexist, or accosting him as being transphobic, or accosting him as being this. And it's like, can you get your heads out of your art? No, apparently you can't. So whatever. But
nope.
That drove me sad. Twitter's a fucking shithole. I'm sorry.
What about Threads? What if we move to Threads? Isn't that what it's called? I don't know. It's got the ampersand symbol as and it's by invitation only at this point before they open it up to really. I'll send a link to you in Discord. I think I've got a couple of invites for
I'll
it.
check it out.
And but anyway, it's kind of a Twitter clone. Honestly, I don't use it that much, but hell, if the gaming community went there, I don't see any reason why I shouldn't. I mean, I would use it more often, I guess.
Threads
I feel like
Twitter. Oh, there you go.
I feel like you're going to run into a problem, though, because first it was MySpace, then it was Facebook, then it was Twitter. You got Reddit floating around in there. I mean, there was a point in time when Reddit was like the place to be, and now the only thing I ever hear about it is usually terrible things. Yeah. I feel like when you move mass amounts of people, I mean, look at the one like everybody... how do I put this?
Australia. Australia's what happens when you move mass amounts of people to a place.
All that to say that I was thinking of the YouTube spinoff, because there's a group of people out there that are sick to YouTube
or whatever it is.
Yeah. It's like that's all fine and dandy until you start moving mass amounts of people, and once you get true like billions and billions of users, I feel like you're still going to end up with the same phenomenon. It's just going to repeat with a slightly different flavor every single time. You know what I mean? Like there's people out there and they're just gonna, destroy everything they touch like a creeping doom.
I have a crazy idea then. How about this? What I'm looking forward to in 2024? Us ignoring and what's that term they used to use when the entire village would turn on you? You were not ostracized, but where they would just ignore you, like they sort of they just deleted you as a member of the community. You know what I mean?
Excommunication.
Something I can't remember what the term I'm
Something
looking
like
for
that.
is. Let's just do that. When someone starts being a shit, we all just agree to stop listening to them and ignore them.
Yeah.
We just put them all on mute so we don't have to see their bullshit anymore. How about we all do
Yeah.
that? 2024 New Year's resolution: shun them. Exactly. Let's shun them. Let's ring a bell and cry shame. Let's do whatever we have to do to just when some idiot shows up and starts going, ignore user.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Well,
You
for
know?
the most part, that's what's happening. I mean, that's what I do. I mean, and that's okay. So that's one thing that I would like to see in 2024. I would like to see some better YouTube controls for simply doing that.
I'd like to see the ban brought back where I could ban people from my channel.
Yeah. It's easy enough to just simply delete a comment. I hate doing that. I am very big on allowing people to have a voice, even if they disagree with me. That said, there are lines that even I have to draw simply because I don't want to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's too mentally taxing. It's not worth the time and the effort and the mental discomfort that it causes me.
Brian, you are sadly the best of us right now, right? Like, I don't want it, but you are. You've got the most subs of all of us in this small end of the community. You've got the most balanced, approachable nature of all of us. Trust me, I'm the fucking agent of chaos by comparison to you. You know what I mean? And that puts you as a de facto leader for us. You know what I mean? That puts you in a position of showing the better way, and maybe some of us striving to emulate what you're doing. Not your style, but the openness, the lack of taking the bait, the even-handed reviews of things, the way of looking at stuff with a different perspective, all of that. You know what I mean? Don't listen to Dale. Dale, don't ever listen to Dale. That's your first mistake. Once Dale starts going, you'll never stop this crazy Texan. Trust me. But you can be that person for us. And when someone needs their ass kicked, you give me a call and I'll go kick their ass for you.
You can be the enforcer.
I'm happy to do so. But the point is that we can all start moving in a better direction if we have a direction to follow. And to do that, we need one voice or one captain of the ship, and the rest of us as officers advising the captain, as opposed to what we're doing right now, which is we are all shooting off in different directions, trying to steer through this maelstrom, forgetting that we're stronger together than we are individually. We're easier to pick off one by one.
I certainly have my fair share of larger YouTubers that I pull from as well. It's if it's a badge that you're recognizing that I have, I'm proud and happy to wear it. I am honored by the words that you say, and that alone makes me want to be a better creator.
Okay.
That makes me want to have the better patience to move forward with folks that I interact with. As I've said, I have no issue with us having differences of opinions when it comes to how to play a game, with what game is better than another game, with rules as written versus rules as intended versus whatever. I have no issues in discussing those differences because, again, as I said, we can come together in a very mature manner and talk like adults. Even though we're sitting around playing a make-believe game like children. That's what I ultimately want to see in this hobby is grown-ass adults having fun because, listen, the pressures of the world, they're not going away.
Nope.
And I use role-playing as an escape from those day-to-day pressures.
Yep.
And if somebody has to dress up as an opposite sex and put on a fun costume, and that allows them to escape whatever horrors that they have witnessed or has been inflicted upon them, and play a game, and that is their escape, who the fuck am I to judge that? Who the fuck is anybody to judge that?
Yeah, here's the thing. You're right. But when said person now tells everybody else how they have to behave and how they have to react and how they have to do things, we're on the other side of that looking glass, right?
Right.
You don't get to judge them, and they don't get to dictate our lives.
Right.
That
I'll agree with. Yes.
This has been my motto on my channel since day one. You do you. Don't make everybody else. Don't. I insert. You know what? I'm looking forward to you wearing a dress on your channel, Brian.
So, all of that in mind, I'm going to kind of shift the topic just a hair. Okay. For Christmas, my son got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. He has dominated the PlayStation 5, and we can't watch TV. I can't play any other console games. I mean, we have other TVs in the house, but the big TV is in the living room where the game console is. But he's become a master at playing this, and he's only had it for like 3-4 days. It's blowing my mind. My question to all of you. Well, first off, do any of you guys play console games or
no
PC games?
No.
PC, yes.
Okay.
I play City of Heroes. That counts.
Yeah, that counts.
PC, yes. Used to play console, but yeah.
Okay, so what is a recent two-part question? First part, what is a recent game that you have played that just was mind-blowing to you? Follow-up to that is, second question, is there a game in 2024, video game, console game, that you might be looking forward to?
Baldur's Gate 3, obvious answer to part one. I mean, I say that it's mind-blowing mostly because of the amount of detail, the execution. I played Divinity Original Sin 2 before Baldur's 3 came out. So I was familiar with the studio and I was familiar with their work. But just the sheer, you talk about what's happened with everything in WotC in 2023. When I play Baldur's Gate 3, I feel like it's and I missed the name that Bear mentioned earlier, but I feel like it's the other side of that, where here's somebody who clearly has a passion for gaming, has a passion for what they're making. You can just feel it coming out through the game, at least in my opinion. So I like supporting them. I know their history and what they went through to become what they are, and I feel like they've earned it, and they continue to make quality, good products. So that's my answer to part one. I only play old games other than that one, so I don't have an answer to part two.
Bear?
I play City of Heroes every now and then. I hate video games. They're boring, and I prefer the old school ones that you played in the arcade for a quarter.
Pac-Man.
Yeah, stuff, Dig Dug.
Gauntlet.
I say Dig Dugs, people just to make it drive the point home. Asteroids. I love the gripping tail in Asteroids. I don't like to read games. I just don't. And that's the problem with all the modern gaming that I'm seeing, is that I have to go into these scenes like Dragon Age. I tried playing that, and I was just like, there was a moment where I had to watch 5 NPCs have a conversation, and I was just like, why am I watching the video game? What the fuck is going on here? Why well, this is boring to me. So I'll play Civilization whenever a new version of Civ drops. I'll be in and lose time and life on that, and I'll punch up some, yeah, Gauntlet's pretty awesome. There you go. Gauntlet's pretty cool. like Champions of Mystara is almost too much. I'd rather be playing Golden Axe. You know what I mean? Like,
what about the old classic Zork? That's a reading game.
Remember that part where I said I don't like to read games? I'm dyslexic and a diagonal reader, so I miss everything in my characters.
Okay. So I'm dyslexic as well. And playing Zork, I shit you not, I attribute me playing Zork for hours on end to making my reading comprehension better. I'll die on that hill. I swear that's happened.
On the Patrician TV retrospective of Morrowinds, there's a section in there where he talks about the voice dialogue versus because everything in Morrowind is written. There's no voice acting. It's all, you have to read all of the dialogue. Yeah. And he said in that section that he got a lot of commenters that were on there were people who were commenting that they couldn't play the game because of their dyslexia, but there were apparently a surprising number of people who commented that the game improved their reading comprehension as well, like what you were just talking about. So like I was just pointing out that I've heard that before. Yeah.
Morrowind cured my cancer. Yeah.
Seraphis, how about you?
Well, I've had kids for 5 years, so I haven't played anything. I did back Homeworld 3, so I'm looking forward to that coming out next year. Probably won't be able to play it next year, but I'm looking forward to it. I can't remember the last time I played a video game.
It's been that long?
Yeah, it's been that long.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so on that, this is a really bizarre segue into it, but I'm going to just,
flawless transition.
Flawless transition. Piece of trivia for you. What was the number one pirated show from HBO in 2023? Yeah.
If all it's Amazon Prime, I don't know. House of Dragon?
It's close. No other guesses?
I don't know TV shows that well.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The
Last of Us.
Mm.
So, for those of you that don't know, I'm a major zombie fan. Love zombies. Can't get enough of them. In fact, we were watching Walking Dead. I mean, it's we cut cable, got rid of cable a long time ago, and got Roku, and they've got Roku TV. One of the stations on there on Roku TV is the Walking Dead station, Walking Dead Universe. Just plays Walking Dead episodes 24/7. And so, yeah, I mean, that's what we watched for probably 4 hours today was Walking Dead.
I mean, heck, if you love it.
I'm a sucker for zombies. Listen, when the shit goes down, y'all figure out how to get to my house. I got you covered. We'll survive. We will survive.
I feel like I'll die trying to get to your place.
Yeah, I'm gonna trust that World War Z was right, and I'm gonna go further north, and then in the winter do zombie corpse collection runs to burn, and then in the spring have less to deal with. That's my plan.
What I didn't say is we would be heading north to where Bear is because cold.
You all can go somewhere else. I don't need you dragging all your American zombies with you. Thank you.
So the point in bringing up that this is the bizarre transit. This is the flawless transition portion. Okay, I've discussed pirating in the past on my channel, and I'll segue from pirating the show into pirating D&D content in just a moment. But one of the main reasons that folks pirate software is or movies or anything like that is that the platform that provides that service they get a better service by pirating. For example, Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you probably just got an email that reads something along the lines of, "Oh, well, we're sorry but in 2024, at the end of January, we're going to up your bill, or we're not going to change your bill, but we're going to add ads to all of your shows for the same price." Or you can up your bill for $3 more per month and get an ad-free experience. So I have to pay more to get the service that I already have. Or I can keep
Yeah.
the service that I already have, which was supposed to be ad-free, and I'm going to have ads. That's why people pirate. Shift into D&D. I can't help but think that when this new version of Dungeons and Dragons comes out, that there will be a plethora of pirating going on simply because people don't want to give WotC money. There you go.
What's
Took
that?
It's a board with a pirate flag on it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I just don't. Obviously, I'm not going to cite where, but it's easy enough to look on Google and find pretty much any D&D book you want.
Yeah.
And without
Although,
having to spend a dime.
do you think that it's going to be more along the lines of people pirating stuff or acquiring free copies? Or do you think it's going to be more a situation where people are just abandoning the system entirely? Because I'm thinking in my head of all of the YouTube videos that I've seen, like as soon as the OGL hit, all of a sudden, all of my recommended feeds were filled with try this game, try this game, try this game, try this game. Here's the non-D&D games that I'm playing on channels that were traditionally always doing D&D content. So I'm wondering if even more so than pirating, we might see something like that within the D&D community specifically.
I think that we'll certainly see a fracturing, an additional fracturing of the D&D community. Yes, Bear.
Tori, how many of those channels went back to D&D content once WotC made their amends and gave us the SRD and the Creative Commons, right? That was my problem with it. Everybody came out at them. And then the minute WotC did remotely anything, they were all, oh, well, I guess we've forgiven them now. And they went right back to the well. So
And then Keys of the Golden Vault came out and they grabbed
these
that.
fracturings don't last.
I was one of those channels. I'm not going to make any cover-ups about that. You know,
Okay.
I was very vocal against WotC in the beginning. They, of course, send me free shit to review. And now, I will state that when I did review stuff, books, Spelljammer, Dragonlance, you know, I didn't give it a very good review, but I can't say I was a shill for them, but I did go back to them because, you know, that was the popular game to talk about. But I can say, and this is the whole topic of this entire tonight's episode of this stream, is looking into what 2024 will bring. And for me, for this channel, 2024 is certainly going to bring a much wider breadth of games. It's fucking called GameMasters, for God's sakes. You know, I mean, now it's not Dungeon Masters. I'm GameMasters, you know, and it's not, we're, you know, the whole channel, the idea behind it was, well, I mean, it was the name of a store that I had back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But it was, the idea of it back then was this was a destination location. We wanted to be the Walmart of games. That was our concept. Didn't work. That's topic for a completely different video for another time. But the idea with this YouTube channel is still that I want to be and when I say Walmart, I'm not talking about like cheap crap that, you know, falls apart 20 minutes after you've bought it. I'm talking about just the selection.
Variety.
Yeah, the variety.
Yeah.
That's what I want Game Masters as a channel to be. It has been a very tunneled vision of where I'm trying to move the channel. knowing that, one, I have to gain a subscriber base. A lot of them are D&D players, obviously. But with WotC's OGL issues over the past few months, years, those gamers are wanting to move on. And so it's just become a natural progression for this channel to, part of my 5-year plan is to incorporate slowly other games into the channel in between the D&D videos. 2024 is probably going to see more influx of alternate games. And that's really where I see my channel going in 2024.
I'll put you in touch with the gentleman at Palladium.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly, they sent me the books. They sent me that Christmas care package, and I had, some about it, but
I believe
I did it wrong.
Exactly.
I ordered it wrong. Yeah. And I'm not gonna say, oh, you guys did me wrong. No, I was the one that didn't understand how to do it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I goof up, but I'm going to use the books that they sent me. And one of them was a zombie role-playing book.
Exactly. Dead Rain, right?
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. So there you go. Right in your wheelhouse. And they knew that because they're so good. But the point is that it's almost like our job to a certain extent, or at least our responsibility, to introduce gamers to other games they've never heard of and other systems. Look, I'm going to say something that's really a hot take given the fact that I'm doing a Marvel Superheroes clone in the new year, okay? How much game design are you really doing if you're just putting out your version of D&D again?
Right.
Do you really get to call yourself a designer at that point in time? I don't call myself a game designer because I'm not designing any games. I'm just putting out my house rules, right? So maybe we need to start supporting actual game designers who are designing games. Oh my God, Padar, shut up. It's not coming out in 2024. It's coming out when it's ready, and that'll be when I decide. Stop your nonsense. Now, you could support Heroic, which will be coming to BackerKit in February. That's a different beast. But the point is that there is it's almost an embarrassment of riches we have in the games that we can play right now.
That's crazy.
Any genre, any subgenre.
Or mix and matching to your comment earlier, Bear, about what those channels did after. So one of the channels I'm thinking of, so for starters, a couple of those channels I quit following after the OGL, because after OGL they turned into video after video after video that's still hating on WotC and doing kind of nothing but. And to kind of to GameMasters' point, I just I didn't go back to it. But one of the channels in particular, the whole reason I even considered DCC was because of how he described it and what he's. I think he did another video like 2 weeks ago, not that long ago, where he's talking about, okay, I take XYZ from DCC and I take ABC from 5th edition, and it's gotten to the point where, because there's so many games out there, like I've seen a couple of videos now where people are taking like mechanics from this game, mechanics from that game, and kind of mishmashing into their own little homebrew situation. You're just talking about an embarrassment of riches or whatnot. So yeah.
There's a little thing I'm putting together that's going to come out at some point in time. You may have heard about it. It's called Bastard Sword, and the word bastard is applied exactly as it is because it's a Franken game.
I've heard rumors, but I was in I was actually in, it was like the second chat of yours I was ever in, and everyone kept going on about the 2D12, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, someone please explain the 2D12 to me, because I wasn't there for that. I don't know. so
what
I'll have to go.
Was when I first designed Bastard Sword, it was going to be a Pathfinder beginner box clone. Then as I kept designing, I moved away, and then I wound up moving towards a 2x10 roll high model. And I really developed a nice little system out of that, but I was like, the 20. While that was going on, there was a bunch of chuckleheads that are here tonight in this chat that are in my chat going, what about you should use 2D12? Why 2D10? 2D12? 2D12 is the one true way. And they just did not stop. And then when I was playing Modifius Star Trek using the 2D20 roll under mechanic, I was going, I really groove on this mechanic. I can do it with 2D12 and get what I need done. So I gave them what they wanted, and they're still just being chuckleheads about it. They won't stop. It's like they're like dogs with a bone that they just can't get the marrow out of. They're going to suck it dry. They're going to crunch it till it's broken. So let them run. Let them be happy. See, Peter, I like to take credit for that. Yeah, exactly. This is the way they are. But they're awesome. They're my chuckleheads, and I like them for that.
Okay, there we go.
But that's no your definition of bastard sword, because it's an amalgamation of a bunch of different systems. That's honestly my very definition of D&D. You know, I've said it before. You know, when we're getting together to play, you know, we'll say, "Hey, are we playing D&D tonight?" Yeah, of course we can do that. Well, what game are we going to play? Monopoly? Sure. You know, so I mean, us even sitting down watching a movie is we're playing D&D. It's like what you had said, Scotch tape, Kleenex. You know, those are the brand names.
Yeah.
But any tape out there, the generic stuff, any tissue paper, the generic stuff, it's all Kleenex. It's all Scotch tape. You know.
Yeah.
All role playing games to me, and that might be something that I could work on in 2024 is specifically differentiating my definition of D&D to specifying, other games.
Yeah, because I think we're all more, prior to the OGL incident, D&D was just, it was like you say, it was just a reference to something. It wasn't like specifically the Wizards of the Coast branded. It was just the hobby that we did. But after that, and then of course with the Hasbro situation, the firing of everybody or letting everyone go, it's like, I think the common discourse around the hobby has just become more and more and more brand conscious in maybe a way that wasn't before. I don't know. Just theory.
No, I would love to hear you talk because we want to know if your microphone's working, man.
Yes, I know. I saw that. Hopefully it is.
Not really. No, you still sound like you're in a swamp.
Yeah.
Put it closer to your face.
What, like this? Is this okay?
That's better. That's a slight improvement.
No, I think I need to be. What's the opposite of unsober? Sober. I am sober. I need to be a little more inebriated. That's the word I'm looking for some of these things.
I'm going to give you guys an important safety tip, by the way. Does not contain actual scotch. So don't eat it.
I was like, now I'm tempted. Now I'm thinking about, I've been up since 4:00 in the morning and it's 10 a.m. here for me and I'm not falling asleep anytime soon. So now I'm tempted to go get some bourbon. Dang, that's a good idea.
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Or 10 p.m. Sorry.
I have
10 p.m. Sorry.
No, I'm just trying to figure out who starts drinking at 10 a.m.
Don't go watch my stream from this morning.
Hey guys, in my chat, use the link down below in the description. Come on over here to GameMasters so that we can have a unified chat where everybody can see each other, and that way the community will flow, the conversation will flow better. Come on over, please, and subscribe. It's worthwhile channel.
We're just having fun. So
are we? Oh shit! I'm sorry. I was being super serious. My apologies. I'll have fun now.
So here, completely unrelated. What is everybody's New Year's plan?
We're streaming.
Yeah. What's the topic?
Today's the 31st of March.
We're just having a creator stream. Mr. Boivin is going to host it, and everybody who shows up who's a creator only are going to be able to simulcast it out if you want. So you're more than welcome to join us, James. But I'm sure with your family, you'll have stuff to do. But you know,
yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
Fireworks and guns, Texas.
Fireworks and guns. That's fantastic. Are we talking on the 1st, or are we talking about like the evening of the 31st?
Oh, the evening of, yeah.
Okay, I'm actually playing D&D.
Bring it in.
By the way.
Oh, sweet.
Mercury.
Meow.
Bear shows off beans, so I got to show off Mercury.
I don't show off beans. Beans demand
just shows up.
he shows up.
Beans and Misty crash the stream. That's what they do.
Yeah. Oh, but they're so big and fluffy. Every time I see them, I'd be so happy. But we haven't had, so just work schedules and life and chaos and whatnot. We've missed we usually play on Fridays, but we've missed the last couple of sessions and holidays and whatnot. So we're doing a makeup session, and it just happens to be on the 31st because none of us work Monday. So that's when we can fit it in. Yeah.
I'm running one of my Star Trek games on New Year's night. Because that's when the schedule fell. And we're all like, oh.
Speaking of Star Trek, there is another game that I'm actually looking very, very much forward to. Here we go. Called Mothership.
Huh.
Now, this one is due out 2024. This one, Mothership, is
Horror.
instead of being called a dungeon master or a game master, you're called a warden. Okay. And your players, instead of a party, it's a crew. You are on a spaceship cruising through space, through the universe. And it is kind of a mishmash of Star Wars, Star Trek, and aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Very horror centric. As you can imagine, I'm very, because of my enjoyment of zombies, I like horror as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so this one's right up my alley.
Cool.
Well, that brought it to a dead stop.
Well, I've got Star Trek, I've got Alien, I've got D6 Star Wars. What do I need this game for, right? Like, that's sort of the thing with me. Like, if you're going to bring me a game, you got to bring me something that I want. So Dragonbane gave me ducks.
Okay, fair point.
You know what I mean?
So I guess...
Yeah, screw it. I'm not going to even worry about it then.
Oh, stop doing that. Thanks.
Can't say anything. I haven't even worked over to and I'm so just classic swords and sorcery in all of my games. I don't have it's not my style, and the people that I'm playing with are two of them have never played D&D before ever. They're completely brand new players, and one of them only touched it lightly once sometime in the 80s when he was in high school, and only played the Turtles game pretty much all through high school. So they're not, D&D aficionados. So they're not into that.
I got nothing to say. I mean, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
There's a channel called Ye Old Geek. I think you'd really like it a lot. And John, the host, is absolutely allergic to sci-fi. So, but he loves Call of Duty.
Catch that next time.
I'm not shy to play any genre. I like all of it. I like the sci-fi stuff. I like horror. I like fantasy. I like classic sword and sorcery. And it's really fun when you can mash it all together. I have not played TMNT. I have never played any Ninja Turtles, but I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, he was super excited when they did the Kickstarter for re-releasing it. But do you find, like, with the horror, does it ever become an issue? Because, like, you're talking about a group of people around a table usually goofing off. Like, that's been my experience of D&D, is everyone's, like, memeing and telling jokes, and sometimes they're on their phone. Like, does that ever create an issue with the concept of horror? Because don't you need, like, a lot of atmosphere to pull that off?
For me, no. It's never been an issue because... Frankly, at my table, I don't allow phones. We don't do electronic stuff, although I do fully admit that having a PDF of something to swiftly look through to find a reference is so much faster than just flipping through a fucking book. I fully admit that.
I find stuff way faster in books. I hate scrolling through PDFs. It drives me nuts.
No. I don't scroll through the PDF. I just control, what is it? Control F, whatever it is. And I can't even think. It's so automatic now. I don't even think about it.
Oh, wow. Showing off our big brain there, aren't we there, Brian?
No, my brain is going, man.
Keys. I'm like,
I hit 50 and everything's just going downhill.
No, 53 ain't much better, let me tell you.
No. Thanks.
I'll bet that's enough.
Enjoy your youth, Tori. Enjoy your youth.
Oh, so I'm told.
But to answer to the second part to that is, as far as atmosphere goes, I fully 100% create the atmosphere. Lights get turned down. We use candles or as what Bear is wanting.
Very jealous of this. Yes.
These.
Yeah.
Um,
The LED fire life.
Yeah.
The other thing, Tori, though, is it's and the new school players hate hearing this, but it also comes down to GM table control.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have table control, your game will turn into memeing and phones and all that fun stuff. But if you go, okay, guys, hey, phone's in the corner, and tonight, anything you say, your character said.
Yeah.
Do that for 2-3 sessions, they start understanding that they need to immerse themselves into the game and role play.
And that is the biggest element that I find has helped me, not only with just horror role playing, but with other role playing aspects as well, is the immersion into the game. And if somebody, if somebody has their phone, I get it. I don't want to be that tyrant, from work that refuses the employee to use their phone. We're all going to have that important phone call come through. I get that. That's not what it's about. But it's about you don't need to be playing Candy Crush while you're in the middle of a battle with Tiamat. That's just not going to work. So
a couple of follow-ups to that as I'm just listening to you guys. So like, what would you say about the concept of how to phrase, like, the quality of me and my DMing to immerse them? Like, would you say that there's something that I could do better rather than just saying, hey guys, put down your phones and being overt about it? What about, like, I'm not giving them a good experience in the first place, so that they're not immersed, they're not listening to me?
Stop!
Okay.
Oh my God! May I please? May I
Run.
please?
Yep.
You have landed in my fucking wheelhouse, and you didn't even realize it. Have a beer, sit down, light a smoke, put your feet up, and listen to the music, because I'm about to tell you something right now.
All right.
Mentality that has been forced upon you by the me player. I'm important. Everybody else bullshit generation nonsense role playing. You're not responsible to immerse them. It's a cooperative movement. They're responsible to be into their characters. You're responsible to provide a game, and the two of you together are going to make something that's going to be fun and a good time. If that person needs you to immerse them, otherwise they're going to wander off on their phone, or they're going to fucking go wander into the field and follow geese around for an hour, that person is the problem, not you as the GM, and you need to embrace that. The GM has to be the authority at the table, otherwise it descends into chaos. This is not a talking stick. This is not a conch circle where everyone gets their turn. It's not beating a drum in the woods. It's a goddamn game, and the term master applies to the game part. Game master. You do more work than the players will ever do between sessions. They just show up and have to play their characters, for God's sake. And you have to just provide the damn game. And if they can't get their arses out of their Twitter, their Candy Crush, or whatever other bullshit they're fucking around with at the table, maybe it's not for them. And if you wind up with 2 players who are dedicated to the game, you're going to have so much more fun than 5 players where only 2 are dedicated to the game and 3 are causing shit and trouble all night long. Trust me on this, sister. You are not the problem.
Do you think that there's a certain minimum degree that... Do you think there's at least a point?
Know the rules, have your adventure set, have your papers all in order, and basically do shut up, Robert. Do what you need to do to make sure you're good to go. That is the minimum point you are there for.
Okay.
If they're unwilling to join you on that bridge, let them fucking swim. Or leave on the other side of the river and go have fun with the people who do join you on the bridge. Number does not equal good. Good equals good. 2 good players, 1 good player, always superior to 5 mediocre, shitty players. And again, thank you for attending my TED Talk.
Again, this was not pre-planned. Anybody who is thinking about doing a live stream, you need to sub to Bear.
No. God,
you need to check him out.
It is But what about I mean, Game Masters and Cyphries, you're pretty much the same thing.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that
absolutely.
okay?
No question.
I've never heard it phrased quite that way. I've never heard it just thrown at me, and I have to like process this. Like I've just never, because
that's how we roll.
I've always been I just always believe that there's a certain, like if what I'm putting out there in terms of my descriptions and the narration, like what I'm putting in front of the players, I've always believed that if that's good, then they will like it, like a captive audience type mentality. Because if I come into a game session and I'm like, you're walking through the woods and you hear this and you see this, etc., that's setting a scene for them. But if I walk to the table, I'm like, all right, you're walking through the woods. What do you guys want? And there's like nothing to it. So I'm a believer that there should be a certain degree of kind of quality to it. Otherwise, I would tune out too.
Absolutely. Have you watched any of my live streams that I do for the Star Trek games?
I have not. I was mentioning this. Cyphries was actually in my stream earlier, but Star Trek is like the one sci-fi franchise that I'm just not.
It doesn't matter, and this is what I was referring to. Yeah, this is exactly what I was saying. Is anybody who's looking at wanting to do live streaming, check out what Bear is doing. It's when and I don't mean like this 4-panel discussion of what we're talking. I'm talking about the live play stuff that he does. There's a skill there that you're not going to learn it like that. It's not something that you can pick up overnight, but it's a skill set that you can develop overnight. And watch for what the game master does, the storyteller, the dungeon master in Bear. That's the trick to, what's the word? I don't want to say maintaining control, because it's not about control. It's about immersion. It's about painting a bigger picture.
We used to use the term referee.
Yes.
When games couldn't use Dungeon Master and they didn't want to use Game Master back in the day, they would use the term referee. You're the ref. You're reffing the game. Well, the ref has a job to make sure the game continues. When people are offside, foul, call them, yellow card them, and get the game back on track. So you take the storyteller, you take the narrator, and then you take the referee and all that good stuff, and you put it all together, you get the game master. But the term master does not mean lord of. What the term master means, it's mastery. You are mastering the game, and you are providing that skill to the players and then bringing them together to you. Streaming is so much harder than a table. Running at a table is a piece of cake compared to running a live stream, right? When you're running a game with people not in the same room, with each other talking over top of each other, families in the background, wives banging pots in the kitchen, whatever the case may be. Yeah, deal with all that. You know what I mean? But the point is that if you have mastery of the game and you have mastery of yourself at the game table, you will be a game master. And your players should meet you halfway. And again, you are going to get players who will not. You are going to get players who just can't take that final step onto the bridge. It's a bridge too far for them. Okay, it's all right to leave them behind and keep going forward with the people who want to be there and are immersed in having fun.
And I think that
I can talk lower too. I can also be like softer. I don't have to just yell everything. See?
And I think that's the key right there is talking lower and not yelling at people. That's the no, I'm kidding. I'm just trying to mimic that. No,
I've heard that's a real thing though. At least so I've heard, that if you lower your voice, people will actually stop and listen more than if you yell.
So when I was a bouncer, I learned that technique, which is, it had two benefits to it. One was by talking low, you took control of the energy of the situation. And second, by talking low, the people tended to lean in to hear you, opening them up for anything you needed to do at that point in time. So it was a double step. Yeah. But no, it's Tori. You know what, Tori? I want to either run you in a game or I want to play a game with you where you're running it.
Oh, I'd be too nervous for the latter, but I'd be up for the former.
Well, either way you do it, because I would be brutally honest with you, but positives and negatives, both sides of that coin. I would never just be like, you suck and here's why. I reserve for Connell this entire deal. Even if Connell sees this.
And I just wonder if 2024 is going to see me getting on and doing some kind of online play.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, I know it. Hey, what were you talking about, dice for your system? Yeah. I've had enough people. Well, listen, I've had enough people coming to me asking me about it. Why I don't do live plays or on my channel. I just don't like it. But I might.
It's very satisfying when you get the right group of players together and everything just clicks, and as we say in Canada, it goes tickety boo. You're happy. You know what I mean? It's a good feeling. You guys don't say it in Australia. You don't say tickety boo.
Not really, but I am fond of the word, though.
Sorry, what was that, Tori?
I've only DM'd. I haven't played. So
you've never played?
I played like 2 sessions once with just me and my at the time boyfriend to learn 3.5, and that was it.
All right, kiddo, you got to get your feet wet before you can swim.
Hey, listen, that mimics my story from my distant past too. I mean, I played maybe 2-3 times, and in my group of friends, they pointed me out. They appointed me to be the dungeon master, and I've been doing that since the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
I've always held that it's possible. I've heard it said that, you can't DM if you haven't played first, and I've always just kind of disagreed with that. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't rough and I haven't learned my lesson through failures in various aspects, as any DM I'm sure does, but I don't think that it's like, I think I imagine it's a handy experience to have, but I don't think that it's like you cannot DM well if you have not played. I don't believe that personally.
No, I don't think that. I would agree with you there. I don't think that you have to be a player in order to be a good narrator, storyteller, dungeon master, game master, whatever you want to call it, referee. I think that I think that you need to be a good storyteller, and I don't mean that in terms of one who runs a game. I mean one that can tell a good tale. I think that is probably the number one skill set that somebody should have, is being a good storyteller. And I think that's one reason why Bear is so good at it, is because he's got a background in radio. That is a natural progression of storytelling. I mean, you're having to come up with stuff off the top of your head and weave it together to sound good on a day-to-day, minute-to-minute basis in radio. And that just leads naturally into storytelling.
Yeah.
Tori, I will put together a one-shot at some point in the new year. Seraphis will play, Brian will play, and you'll play. So you'll feel very safe and secure with people you know. We'll just go, I'll send you against the Goblin Gully. And once it's over and said and done, you'll have a better idea of what's going on and what I'm talking about. And we won't even stream it. It won't be streamed. You won't have to worry about the people watching or anything like that. It'll be a private game just for us.
I'd be down with it. I'm down to learn new things. So if there's something, and if you're offering to run it and help me experience something different or learn something different, I'm totally down for that.
Absolutely. And since you're down to learn new things, would you mind if I took some time to explain the Church of Latter-day Saints to you?
I feel like there's a joke there I did not get.
It's not directed at you. It's directed at someone in the chat.
Oh.
Someone in there.
I actually can't see the YouTube chat, but...
No, you don't have it. You're not in StreamYard? You can see all the chat in StreamYard if you open
I'm on my phone, so all I have is just the little screen with the 4 of you. I don't own a camera other than my phone. That's why everyone's dizzy with my background as I'm walking about and stuff. Y'all mentioned mentioned stuff, so I had to get me some. So, yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah,
I don't have
mine is like in another room, and I just came into this. Well, I had some technical issues at the beginning of this, and
Oh, I missed
of,
that.
of my own. Well, it was stupid stuff on my side. I just had too many cameras hooked up, and anyway. But my good drink is
Elsewhere.
elsewhere.
I have
Yes.
Dare I, but if you can even see it in the dark,
Knob
I
Creek is
have
good.
Knob Creek, Kentucky Coffee, Bullets. We have, I don't think it's showing properly on the camera, but we also have that's Crown Apple,
Wow.
1792, and our Macallan Scotch and Belgian Scotch.
How are your livers?
Huh?
Okay. How are your livers? Those bottles are all half empty, is what I'm saying.
They've been there a long time. That Macallan is a $300 bottle of Scotch that
Yes, it
only comes out on like it that I got that for Steve probably 4 years ago now. So it's been a bit.
Been a minute, huh?
Yeah. It's just a slow process. We like having variety. We're big fans of bourbon and Scotch.
Was one of those Balvenie?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Although
a good one.
I haven't heard it spoken that way, but yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, do you have a Crown Royal dice bag yet?
I have a peach one, a green one, a purple one, a brown one.
Good girl.
And at least, I know I saw in GameMasters' last video, I saw a whole bunch of them in the background of the video, and I was like, yes, look at all the Crown Royal bags, except it looked like he was missing one. Isn't there also the vanilla one? What color does the vanilla one come in? Is that the brown? I don't remember.
That's that there.
Oh, that one. Yep. I don't have that one,
I
sadly.
only have 3. I feel inferior.
I don't have any Crown Royal
Because
bags.
you live in
What are these
Australia,
things?
you can't import them to Australia because you guys are, they would catch on fire immediately with the air quality.
Oh, I didn't know about that one either. Oh, that's
Okay.
fantastic.
All right. Brian, how's your liver?
Wait a minute.
So Brian, you may like this. There's a thing that happens around here locally where it's like an open park thing, and local artists and creators bring whatever it is they made and put it all for sale. It's just like a bazillion tents and everything. And we went there this last summer, and there was a tent there that was clothing made in basically entirely out of Crown Royal bags. Like the pockets were the front of the bag, and they had shorts and overalls and all, and it was all Crown Royal bags. And I was like, this is amazing. It's a lot of Crown Royal though.
Therapist. Reach out to me on Discord with a mailing address, and I promise to hook you up with a Crown Royal bag so you can feel like a real gamer too. Because I have an extra one. I'm not joking. I have an extra one. I'm not joking.
No, that's the Peter.
So here's something, Seraphis. I actually sent you one of these.
Really?
Along with the printout
Seraphis.
of, remember when I was doing the little gimmick with the demon?
Mm-hmm.
He'd pop up every now and again in the videos. There's a printout of him, and he was going to come live with you for a while.
So cool.
That cost me $32 to send it.
Dang.
Just a bag. Well, it had a couple of other things too, but it was less than £1. And it got back to my house about 7 days ago, marked as undeliverable. Never even left the United States. So I'm going to try again.
I've had that happen before.
Yeah. The post office couldn't figure out, damn, but a crick willabaloo. And they were like, what? I don't know what this is.
Something.
The hell is this? What's your address? When you see the possum, turn left. There's 3 rows. Watch right past them. Watch out for the drop bear. I was like, what? I don't understand these directions. Give me an address. Sorry.
No, you go past the Macca's, past the servo, past the next Macca's, and then there's 3 bottle-os, and then you're there.
Ah, fair dinkum.
Yeah. Okay, so, all right. If Crown Royal reached out to me as and wanted to be a sponsor, okay, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 100% yes.
I have a new project for 2024. Brian and I are going to figure out how to get Crown Royal sponsorship.
Yes.
High five.
How long has that trope been around, come to think of it? Like, how long has the whole
We've been using them since the 80s, I know for sure.
So, like, long time.
Oh, yeah. Longer than you've been alive, young lady.
Oh yeah, 91. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, this
That's
is a
wow.
sweet
this is a
bag.
velvet.
Wow.
Oh,
Got this one
that's
in. So I'm 50 years old now. Legal age to drink is 21. I've had this since I was 17 years old. So very old. The tassels are all falling off. I've only got one left. Tassels are falling off. But this so I mean that trope has been around. God, I have a feeling Gygax probably created that.
That's crazy. That's crazy awesome though.
Got my
Gygax was
D100.
probably
I mean,
Arneson. Sounds more like an Arneson thing.
It could be. So
I'm
I
just
mean,
talking shit.
it's just chock full of dice.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, I was gonna show something that at least I thought it was pretty cool. A new set of dice. I gotta run over here and grab them and bring them under the light. Pardon me making everybody dizzy with my background. But phone. Get out of the box. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Is that showing? There it is. This thing? Yep, there it is. So that's actually the dice holder. And 1 minute as I pull it out of its little case. Oh, there it is. It's actually got a little latch on here, so you push it back, lift up the latch, and it
Whoa.
actually spins out. And those are all the dice.
Oh, so it's like the bullet dice.
Yeah. Yeah. I was super excited.
And then they roll. Yeah. That
Yep.
is cool.
We were talking about dice, and I was like so excited. I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. I don't have a whole lot of like specialty dice, so
I
that was the
don't.
fun part.
I really don't have too many specialty dice. And that was a question that I had actually as a secondary question for when we ran out of stuff to ask about. But this seems like a natural progression segue into this question. Who the hell spends $80 on plastic dice?
Not me, baby. Not me.
No.
If they're 80, they should be like metal or gem or something.
Well,
like
I mean, I'm talking
know.
like the ones that
The Etsy dice.
the Etsy dice, yeah.
What? This is a new concept to me.
It's the ones that well, okay.
I have to go look this up once I have my phone back or something. $80
Let's
for
see
like
if I
just
can figure
plastic.
out how to
I mean,
do
I
the
know
share
stuff on
screen.
Etsy is really, really overly priced. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's neat on Etsy, but it tends to be really expensive.
So, like this one right here, for example, $51.75 for that. It's a dark liquid, and I'm not trying to call this company out or anything like that. That's not what this is. Those are beautiful dice. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's I mean, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, they're lovely.
Looks really cool. But if I'm going to spend $50, $54 on dice,
But what are they made out of? Like,
Resin.
yeah, what?
Resin.
Just
2-part epoxy. Yeah, 2-part epoxy.
Mm.
I mean, we're talking, I don't know, maybe $3 worth of 2-part epoxy. Now I get
Yeah,
that
I think there's some.
glitter that goes in there is going to cost a little bit. The ink to ink the numbers are going to cost, but $50-something for dice. No,
It's madness. It's absolutely madness.
I'd be terrified to roll them.
I like having the the specialty dice. Like, I kind of like the novelty of the bullet dice. You know, it's neat, it's fun, it's something to have. But and we do intend to roll them at the table because I don't buy nice things to have them sit on a shelf forever. But like, they'd have to be metal. Oh,
Seraphis, as the other non-American in this chat, does it not like just seem perfectly logical that somehow Americans turn dice into bullets and like tied dice rolling into guns?
It's not the first time I've seen it, and it doesn't surprise me.
This is the culture that gave us the salad shooter, right? I'm going to shoot my salad into the bullet. What the fuck is going on?
Hey,
there?
we also have guns that shoot money.
Not my direction, apparently.
Well,
Not my
never in
direction
mine
either.
Yeah, I don't know. It's normal. It's normal to me. I've lived here my whole life, so, or most of it, anyways.
Yeah, I know. And trust me, I live next door. We know what you're like.
Yeah, we have a lot of guns here.
You guys come down here all the time too, because we're practically neighbors, give or take.
We just go down there to buy cheap groceries. You guys come up here and invade our bars. Trust me.
Crown Royal is good.
I worked in retail for 7 years, and as someone who specifically had to work in retail, there's a lot of stereotypes, maybe is the word for it, when it comes to visiting, because the store would just be a wreck afterwards. Like, we would have to spend like an extra hour cleaning up after, when, like, it would be like a particular weekend and there'd be a bunch of people that would come through trying to buy stuff that went on sale. And we'd be like, yay, we're selling lots of stuff. But then, like, the cleanup was crazy. Thank goodness I don't work retail anymore.
Timothy, to address your stay out of Florida, we don't want you. Lies. Texas and Florida have been trying to convince me to move there for the last year and a half. I don't know what's going on with those states, but they just, come on, Barry, you'd love it here. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, meth gators, come on.
Lots of sand.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No. Listen, we are brothers. Our countries are brothers, and we get along very well. You guys are just a little more yeehaw than we are up here. Like, that's just the way it is, we accept it. Trust me, we're glad to have you there, because everybody leaves us the hell alone because you're right there. It's like, literally, we get to go, really? You want to fuck with me? You met my brother? Like, we get to do that with you guys, so it works out perfectly. Poor Australia, they got to do that for New Zealand. How shitty a role is that? You know what I mean? Like, come on. When the bully's going to be China, oh boy. Good luck there, Oz. See,
yeah, we just throw
it around Americans. I can make fun of them too. Jeez.
True. You kind of earned it a little bit, right? Earned our stereotypes.
We're so nice.
And to be fair, I can throw some shade at America too, because I think we've got an election coming up next year or the year after, and America will change our government then too. So
we don't even know what our government's going to do. It's just.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, no. The CIA has changed our government for the last
over
15 years.
I think that's for a completely different channel.
Okay, let's
What should that channel be called?
God help us all. We're going to die in a fiery hell.
Sure.
Yeah. You were a fan of zombies, right?
I'm not. Yeah. By the way, something earlier someone said when I said don't come north with the thing, and there was a guy who said, "What, you don't want people from Florida coming up there?" No. The ones from Florida during the zombie apocalypse who can make it all the way to Canada, we definitely want them to come, because they're you know what I mean? They're the best
because they're survivors.
Yeah.
Double tap.
Yes, indeed.
Oh.
Okay, guys, I'm starting to get the late night giggles. It's 11:43 for me. I'm tired. I think starting a stream at 10 p.m. was wrong. And the only reason that I did it was so that I could do another pump up the volume intro.
Hey, we're having fun with it. That's I'm having fun with it. So
it was a bold move, Cotton, and it paid off for you. So that worked out well.
Yeah.
Can I ask Serapis a question before we go?
Run. Yeah.
The hell is that? Is that a Captain Marvel cosplay hoodie? Like, I'm trying to figure. You got blue, gold, and red on that thing. What is this hoodie?
No, Doctor Strange.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, there. Now I see it. Okay.
I thought it was a basketball.
That's Dr. J, Julius Irving. That's a whole other doctor.
Oh, okay. Like I said, late night giggles.
Oh,
Sure. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. Super appreciate it.
Jumping in. Always fun. So yeah, guys, we've discussed it. I don't know that we've resolved anything that we're going to see new in 2024, but we certainly don't have much time left until it is 2024. So with that, I'll do my traditional sign off. Until next our paths cross, actually, hold that thought. Bear, what do you want to plug?
I
You
have
got to
nothing
plug
to
something.
plug. I got
Oh, come
nothing to
on.
plug. No,
You got to do
nothing.
something. Okay.
Support the
Go
rating,
to
support all
go to
those guys.
his YouTube channel. Subscribe. He doesn't want you to subscribe. He'll say don't do it, but I say do it.
And tell
Yeah.
Bear all about Cipher System because he loves it.
You're lucky it's expensive to fly to Australia.
Seraphis, what would you like to plug? Good enough.
Good times.
It's cipher spouting word hole. And like that.
And Tori?
I mean, heck, after the example they set, I'll come. I stream on Saturday mornings. Come join me.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
you want?
you have I'll do a little plug for. You just recently started up a YouTube channel 2 weeks ago? Was it?
Maybe I have lost total track of time over the holidays, so something like that. I have one video and 2.5 streams.
So that would be my plug. Go check out her stuff. It's fun. There's the oh crap. What is the name of the underwater game that you've been playing? That's the one that I've been watching. Subnautica. Yeah. That looks cool.
Love that game.
That looks
My
really
mouse
cool.
pad is Subnautica. Huge mouse pad with a ghost leviathan on it. Great game. Go play it. Go play it. It's a great game.
Many a year ago I was a scuba diver. And
Oh.
that's always been my peaceful place is under the water. And so being able to play a game where you can freely swim around underwater, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. So
Yeah.
we've said it, guys. Until next our paths cross. Peace, love, shrimp. I don't know what
Geek. The
geek.
G. Geek.
Okay. Peace, love, geek. That's Bear sign off. Mine is until next our paths cross. May your new year be kick ass.
Be it, girl.